Okay, welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'm Dr. Rachel Davis, and I'm so excited that you guys have joined us tonight. I have the unique opportunity and feel so grateful and blessed to be able to partner up with one of my dear friends, a fellow pharmacist, and just an overall rock star wellness warrior once a month. And we do a focus call, just basically from a healthcare perspective. And I find such joy into being able to be in this space and share in this way. Today, our topic happens to be how gut health influences menopause, all things menopause. So, being of a particular age, I like to say that because I am of a particular age now, and not really understanding what to expect, because a lot of times we're living our life and we don't really kind of think about it until it's like staring us in the face. And that was my testimony with perimenopause and menopause and going through that change of life. And so I know that if it had not been for having a gut health regimen, specifically with plexus, that I would not be faring so well in this menopause transition. And so let me explain a little bit about what I mean by that. I am 50, turned 50 last year. And I started to develop, like, see signs of like being really tired and gaining weight, even though I was doing all the things that I had been doing previously. And when I mean all the things, I mean I was on consistently on my gut health regimen. I was moderately, or some would say maybe highly active. I made sure that I didn't, I monitor my diet. I, sometimes track and do all the things. So I had all the pieces of the puzzle that had not changed, that I was consistently doing for the last 4 years or more. But I just saw that I would wake up at night, I would be sweating. Like I said, I was keeping pounds on and not necessarily gaining a ton of weight, but just being puffier, feeling just, kind of off. And I know, that with my products, I feel very supported. So I became aware when I went to the doctor, and she says, "Oh, well, you're just in menopause, or you're in perimenopause, and we're going to do the labs and we're going to find out if you're really in menopause." um and she pointed out that a lot of people, and I can, poll my aunts, my mom, the women in my family, to see they started having those symptoms well before 50. And so she attributed that to all the things that I had in place, specifically related to um, my gut health and the things that I had been sharing with her that I was doing. So this is my menopause testimony. This is my plexus testimony now, and it has been since I started, and it will continue to be whatever we are facing or whatever transition we're going through. We are better supported with having a consistent gut health regimen. And specifically, I know as a pharmacist, with plexus and the integrity of the products and the synergism of the products, how they really support us in all aspects. um can we say that any supplement cures, treats, diagnoses a disease? Absolutely not, because it is the nature of supplements, not regulated by the FDA. Supplements can't make those claims. Supplement companies can't make those claims. Plexus does not either. However, when you have support of a system like ours, then you can import anything into that equation. For our topic tonight, we're talking about perimenopause and menopause, how it's related to gut health, and then we'll talk more about how our products help support that. But you can insert anything. Plexus is just not a weight loss company. We are experts in the microbiome. We are experts in the microbiome. But Dr. Corey is going to tell me what the actual what the actual statement is. But we are it is cutting edge. And Plexus was a front runner in understanding the role that inflammation, not having a good way to control your blood sugar, maybe having more of a standard American diet, pollution, toxins, and how all of that was working against us. And when you have a system that helps address those three pillars, blood sugar, inflammation, and your overall gut health, then you're setting yourself up to be able to overcome anything that comes your way in a more positive way. So I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Corey Cooper, who is going to talk about gut health and its relationship to menopause. Take it away, Dr. Corey.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Dr. Rachel, for that testimony. And, I too am a woman of a certain age. And so I can relate to experiencing certain symptoms that you might think that, one is perimenopause or menopause. And so what I kind of want to link for us together tonight, because we won't spend too much time on this, but I want you to kind of understand some basics when we think about once we get to a certain age, how our lifestyle has to look a little different in order for us to be able to manage our gut health, to manage our weight, to manage our overall cardiovascular health, our metabolic health. So when we get to be of a certain age, it matters a lot more how our body communicates. So when we think about our body as a control center, so you have the brain, you have the hypothalamus, you have the pituitary gland, and those are communicating with your adrenal glands that sit on top of your kidneys. And
You
then
don't want to listen.
your adrenal glands are communicating with your gonads,
All
as your
right.
sex organs. I'm going to pause for a minute so we can meet. There we go. All right. So when we have our brain, hypothalamus, pituitary, that's kind of where it starts, communicates with your adrenal glands. That sits on top of your kidneys. And your gonads, your adrenal glands, then communicate with your gonads. Those are your sex organs. And so for women, that's ovaries, men, that's testes. So that process of that sort of bidirectional communication gets funneled through also communication with the thyroid that really is like a circular loop when it comes to communicating with your gut health. So anytime a woman presents with symptoms that they might identify as being, maybe this is perimenopause, maybe this is menopause, especially if you're seeing like functional medicine doctors or doctors who are not solely following just the traditional ways of testing, the first thing they're going to talk about is, well, help me to understand your gut health. Because a lot of times those initial symptoms that we don't often tie to perimenopause or to menopause are actually triggered by a disruption in this control center's communication directly tied to that bidirectional communication in the gut. And what those symptoms might look like are constipation, might look like diarrhea, might look like bloating. So you might, you heard Dr. Rachel talk about doing all the things, but still feeling like she was holding on to weight. So those are examples of what might happen in the presence of perimenopause and menopause. And always the first place to start is within the gut. So when we think about, and you heard Dr. Rachel start to talk about this a little bit as it relates to the microbiome. So the microbiome is basically bacteria and their DNA. So whenever we talk about microbiome, we're talking about bacteria and their DNA. But what people often don't talk about is the estrobolome. So the estrobolome is bacteria that specifically modulates the estrogen that your body produces. And essentially by modulating the estrogen that your body produces, it's trying to minimize the production of an enzyme called beta glucuronidase, or we might just call it BG. So the whole goal is to keep BG low and to manage your estrobolome so that that bacteria that is modulating your estrogen is driven more so by good bacteria and not bad bacteria. Because if it's driven by bad bacteria, you actually end up with an increase in production of estrogen. So it's estrogen overload. So overloading the system with estrogen can be cause you to have symptoms that are very similar to symptoms you might experience in menopause. So when we think about what that might mean for how do we deal with that? So what do we actually have to do to modulate estrogen in a different way by controlling our gut health? So obviously you heard me talk about you need the good bacteria to help decrease that BG, that enzyme. So part of that's going to be a probiotic. Remember, the good bacteria and the bad bacteria are competing for the same sites. So if you have to overpower the bad bacteria by providing more good. So the probiotic is going to be really important into helping you to have more good bacteria to modulate that estrogen. The other piece that's going to be important is your body needs fiber. So once we get to be of a certain age, you need more fiber than you might have needed at a younger age. And that fiber has to come from not just your foods, but we also talk about prebiotics. So prebiotics are basically soluble fibers. So you have to give that good bacteria something to feed on. Your probiotics are going to feed on your prebiotics. So the bacteria produced from the probiotic. So you get good bacteria, it's feeding on the prebiotics. So you're getting this constant, not just for you to intaking fiber for your own health, but it's also feeding your gut health that then is modulating all the estrogen that your body is producing. You want more good bacteria to modulate that estrogen. So not only do we need to be getting fiber from like prebiotic sources, you also need, so if we think about that from a dietary perspective, like the foods that you might need to eat, we're talking about cruciferous vegetables. So all those vegetables that when you were young that, your mom told you had to eat and you didn't want to eat, those are all the ones you need to bring back. So it's like we all go back, right? So all the stuff that mom told us to eat way back in the day that we didn't want to eat, you need to bring it on back. And when you get to the ages of menopause, because it becomes more important for you to have cruciferous vegetables when you start to be in that perimenopausal and menopausal age to really help your body be able to support the estrogen that is being produced within your estrobolome. So the other piece of that too, so we're thinking about, so I've talked about the probiotic, I've talked about the need for a prebiotic and the opportunity for fiber. The other part that becomes really important is how your body actually regulates stress. And so a lot of times we are regulating stress by consuming, like we're coming home, we're winding down with a glass of wine. So we're looking to alcohol to help us relieve our stress in the evening, or we are relying on caffeine to get us going so we can deal with the stresses of the day. So we're starting out the day with reaching for a cup of coffee and, oh, I need another cup of coffee to keep me going through this day. So we're using that caffeine and that alcohol to help regulate how we feel and deal with our day. The reason why that's so problematic when we talk about menopause and our gut health. So first of all, alcohol is the only thing known that if you want to immediately create a leaky gut, is alcohol. So to immediately create the effects of a leaky gut, to immediately poke holes in that barrier within the gut, add alcohol. It's actually what they do in labs when they do research in labs on animals and they're testing leaky gut, they're testing gut health in animals. The way that they create leaky gut is they give the animals alcohol. So if we're winding down, we're relaxing, we're trying to slow down, recover from our day by drinking alcohol, we're actually creating injury to our gut. And because our gut is I know it is a bummer, huh? So when we call ourselves winding down, trying to relax, we are actually creating injury that is causing our body to dysregulate our hormone levels. Caffeine does a similar thing. Caffeine for the gut actually speeds up the gut metabolism. So diarrhea, so you heard me talk about diarrhea, like some symptoms that might be associated with menopause and poor gut health, that sometimes you see that, is very often, again, fatigue. That's something else that kind of comes with menopause and perimenopause. So not only are you dealing with coffee to kind of get you through the day, you're also dealing with that caffeine just because you generally feel tired and you feel like that's what you should reach for. Like, oh, I should just reach for more caffeine to help me get through the day. And that actually is speeding up the transit time of food as it's going through the gut. And when you do that, you're worsening diarrhea. You're worsening the opportunity for irregular bowels. So irregular bowel habits. You're worsening the opportunity for bloating. So all of these things that we're doing that once we get to a certain age, they're working against each other. So that's why we have to work a lot harder when we get to be in the perimenopausal and menopausal ages to lose weight, to find ease and stress relief, to be able to fight off immune. We might often feel like we get sick more often, or feel sick, or we're fatigued, and so we feel like our immune system is down. Caffeine also predisposes you when you're in menopause. Caffeine can predispose you to increased opportunity for autoimmune dysfunction. So all of these things are really working together, and they're working against each other. So the core thing if someone is coming in, they're perimenopausal age, they're menopausal age, they're talking about some of these symptoms. If I just can't lose weight, I'm tired all the time. Because we often think about the extremes. Like you heard Dr. Rachel say, I'm waking up and I'm sweating. I have to change my clothes. I'm so hot. So we're used to hearing things like that. But it's these little things that eat away at us. It's these little things that we don't notice, that we think it's supposed to be that way because we work all day. We take care of our family. We're tired. So we just assume we should be tired. We assume we should feel bloated because we don't get a chance to eat regular meals because we're always on the go and we're doing these things. So the point that I want to close this out with, and I'll turn it back over to Rachel, is that all of these things work together to all of these things that we do on a regular basis are working together against our ability to regulate our hormones in the presence of poor gut health. It is the first place where every functional medicine doctor will start with you if you are coming to them with symptoms of perimenopause and menopause. So remember, we have the microbiome and we have the estrobolome. Estrobolome are those specific bacteria that regulate and modulate our hormones. It modulates estrogen. We have to feed our bodies fiber, both in prebiotic form, and we also have to eat cruciferous vegetables, and then we need that good bacteria around to help to support it. And all that comes from using products to help supplement our gut health. So with that, I'm going to turn it back to Dr. Rachel. You're muted, my dear.
We don't have a lot of time to talk on this call, but just hearing her say that and break that down that way, even I, as a healthcare professional, can seem overwhelmed. That can seem overwhelming, and that's the beautiful thing about Plexus, because what they have done is simplified that into a 3-step process and some adjunct products if you want to add those, and I'll talk about those in a minute, that does all that consistently. It's running in the background. You don't have to think about that. And I think that that's what set me up to not have a 30-pound swing weight loss. I had 8 to 10 pounds. I mean, if that. So it's there to support us and just run in the background so that we're not overwhelmed by, oh my God, I have to do all these things. And what was that she was saying? And I have to think about all of that. And my doctor didn't even ask me about my gut health. Then where do I go from there? So you're 2, 3, 4 steps ahead of the game when you already have a regimen that you know is helping to support you in this way. So does Plexus, again, is Plexus a substitute for doing all those things? No, it's a supplement. It's an add-on. It's a big part of a support system that helps you move forward and not have to spiral down into figuring all of that out, right? And keep going. Oh, well, I have to go to this specialist. I have to go to this specialist, because the first thing they're going to do is put you on antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications instead of trying to figure out what's going on at the root cause. And a lot of that can be supported by making sure you have a robust microbiome. What does that even mean? Okay, I'm glad you asked. I'm going to share my screen, and it's sometimes easier to see it in words and in pictures. And we talked about the pillars of health that having a good gut health regimen with plexus can help to support. One is, oh gosh, having a good blood sugar balance. Can y'all see my entire slide?
Yes,
Yes.
big deal.
Okay. Okay, yes, big deal.
Okay.
So having that blood sugar balance, like Dr. Corey talked about, insulin is the master hormone also. So if you can keep that in a healthy range consistently throughout the day, over time, that makes all of the other hormones fall in line. Improved overall wellness, that I also stands for inflammation, keeping your inflammation down, helping you to really support all your body processes, right? If your inflammation coming from your gut level is down or is decreased or is controlled, and your leaky gut is sealed, like what Dr. Corey talked about, what alcohol does for us. Thank you for painting that very good picture. Um, then of course you then have a fighting chance for all of these other ancillary things that are coming at you. And then your overall gut health. A lot of times people think gut health means constipation, diarrhea, all, some of those symptoms, but really it's the quality of good microbes that you have growing, a consistent way to rid yourself of bad bacteria, specifically a candida overgrowth. That really what we're talking about here, and sealing up that leaky gut. That's what we're talking about, feeding a good bacteria. That's what Triplex does. So Triplex is a three product system that consists of a prebiotic drink called Slim. We have two versions. One is a hunger control. It has more of that bulk forming fiber that Dr. Corey was talking about. It helps you feel fuller, so your portions are more controlled. So if weight loss is a goal, that's a good way to go. But we also have one that just supports a robust microbiome, feeding the good bacteria. That's the Slim Microbiome Activating. We have two different flavors on both, which are both delicious. So you're drinking your probiotics. It also has chromium that helps with blood sugar, blood glucose metabolism. It also has beetroot extract. It also has stevia as a plant-based sweetener. And all of our products are naturally sweetened and naturally colored. So if it's mango peach and you're allergic to mango or peach, then you may want to avoid that because it has fruit extracts in it, and that's where it's getting its flavor and its color. That's what another thing I love about the product line. Anything that is potentially gonna inflame your system, our products doesn't have it. So that's a good one of the many thousands of reasons why I love Plexus. But the other product is our high quality probiotic, which is microencapsulated. It has digestive enzymes. It also has an antifungal component, Saccharomyces, that helps break down the outer shell of bad bacteria and helps kill it off. Okay, so it's not all probiotics are not created equal. I am guilty of being that pharmacist that recommended whatever was on sale because I didn't know the difference. Now that I do, I cannot don't let friends just buy over the counter or even, the high dollar probiotics, because now I know that it matters how, the integrity of the product, and I highly recommend Probio 5. The BioCleanse is our magnesium supplement that it's a natural detox, and it actually doesn't just help us to increase elimination. It scrubs the inside of our intestines and colon and helps to get that sludge out. So if you are doing those three things, if you're doing those three things consistently, you are supporting yourself in the way, and that program is running in the background, like what Dr. Corey was talking about. Um, so I talked about Slim, ProBio 5 BioCleanse. Now we do have a product, it's our multivitamin, it's called X Factor Plus. Um, I Dr. Corey, can you talk about X Factor Plus?
Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing to know about X Factor Plus is that this is specifically designed to support women. So there's two different there's and men can take X Factor Plus too, but it does actually reduce hot flashes and those symptoms associated with menopause. So it's a really nice add-on to the triplex system because not only are you getting a vitamin supplementation, what I love about X Factor Plus, in addition to just that additional support for reducing the menopausal symptoms, it also has aloe, and the aloe really helps you to actually get the nutrients from the vitamins. A lot of times you take a multivitamin and you're actually not getting anything from the multivitamin very often. That's why you see your urine change colors, is because all the nutrients are in your urine. So you basically pee them out. And so when you're taking a product that has aloe in it, you're actually able to absorb the nutrients specifically in the cells that need them with X Factor Plus. And then then because of that additional support you're getting for menopausal symptoms, you're getting the nutrient absorption, which also happens to support your thyroid function, and you're also getting those benefits for menopause. So
Thank you so
love
much.
X
Yes,
Factor Plus.
I will also point out that there are some that would say, oh, well, that's all I need. I just want to get the X Factor Plus. All I need is vitamins. But for all the reasons why Dr. Corey just named, it's actually an addition on an add-on to support the things that your triplex is helping your gut do. So I want to point that out because in our society, it's like Robin says, it's a pill for every ill. And that's sometimes our mentality, especially when we're new to a gut health regimen or, moving more towards a plant-based lifestyle. It's a kind of foreign, and it was to me, even as a healthcare provider. But now that I know that as many ways as you can support your gut, then your nutrition is gonna improve because you're getting the nutrients from your food, more of the nutrients from your food, and your system is more balanced. So how do we get started? Um, I did have a slide here that talked about. Sorry, y'all. Here we go. Here are our um promotions for the month. So as a VIP customer, so whoever invited you to this call or sent you the link, will be able to help you curate a custom welcome pack or make a product recommendation regimen that would be good for you as far as your goals are concerned. We're talking about menopause and perimenopause here. So of course, we're going to say triplex and X Factor and maybe ease to help with sleep, some of those things. But the person who invited you can definitely help curate your product regimen. And as you become a VIP customer, one of the benefits of doing that is that you get a 25% discount on off of retail for a full year. The membership is $9.95. There is a 60-day money back guarantee on every product. So if it doesn't work for you, you try it for whatever reason, the company will give you your money back. So I think that speaks volumes to the integrity of the company as it stands behind the products. And the codes this month, which I think are very, very, very generous, are if you get we didn't even talk about reset, y'all. Okay, so I said I was gonna try to keep this keep this call short. But reset, you'll see on this slide, it talks about a reset combo. And I recommend everybody at least do a reset when they start or somewhere along their first 90 days. and then every 90 days. Reset is a 3-day nutritionally focused fast. It basically helps to reset your metabolism. So especially when you're talking about those hormonal changes that we go through, having a system for 3 days that can support you with the right amount of protein so you're not hangry, micronutrients, electrolytes, all of the broth, collagen, and basically you have 8 products each day. So you're able to chew. There's a vanilla matcha bar. So the reset is a nutritionally focused fast. Everything you need comes in the box. Each day has 8 products, and you do that to jumpstart just your healthier lifestyle journey, to reset your metabolism at the cellular level. And so basically you're wiping your whiteboard clean, right? And then you're able then to onboard your triplex and get started really going on your gut health regimen. It sets you up for so much success. So this month, if you get a triplex with a reset combo, then you get a free bag of Slim, which is the pink drink. And if weight loss is a goal, it's beneficial to drink Slim twice a day, and you can realize your weight loss a little more. It actually, it's not, I want to say quick, but a greater weight loss benefit with drinking 2 Slims a day. If you do select a triplex, the triplex combo plus the reset, you get the free balance. And then you also get, do you also get this free Slim? I think so. So if you do a triplex, so gift 10 is $10 off any $100 order. So you can also get the $10 off if you don't get the combos. But to get the free Slim and the free balance with the triplex and reset is the best deal this month. We also have a referral program. As a VIP customer, you get a referral link right away, and you can earn product credits or commissions as you share what you're doing with your friends. So like I said, friends don't let friends not tell when they find something that actually may be helpful. We do it for movies, we do it for shoes, we do it for sales, and we do it here because we care, right? So there are definitely additional incentives the more people you share with. And like I said, you get your link right away. So there's no, like, you have to pay to get a referral bone, or upgraded account or anything like that. So I also love the ease of being able to either get your products paid for by sharing with 3 friends, or generate additional income for other expenses to create a margin in your budget. So those are some of the things that we really love about the generosity of our compensation plan. We ask for 90 days. We recommend 90 days on a resetting your system, on a new gut health regimen. There's so many things we're working against, and we didn't get to arrive at where we are in our health journey overnight. So, of course, as you know, our culture, and especially, with the onset of quick weight loss and GLP-1s and, just these things as it relates to weight loss, if it didn't work in 2 weeks, we're pretty much done with it. But I'm going to encourage you to invest in yourself in this way. Give yourself at least 90 days, taking your products every day, working with the person who invited you and told you about this, to, make tweaks here and there, because that might need to happen. But it is so worth it, and so are you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Get with the person who invited you or sent you the link. Get started today. Don't delay. And if you have any questions, they know how to reach out to us. We're available for questions at any time. I'm going to check the chat really quick. Yes, Dr. Corey dropping some more knowledge in the chat. But I really appreciate you, Dr. Corey. I don't take these opportunities for granted to be able to share this space with you. And I really appreciate the rest of the team for joining and sharing this information with their networks. And you guys have a good night.
Thank you. Have a good
Thank
night.
y'all. That was
Thanks
phenomenal.
so
Thank
much.
y'all.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all.
Night.
Good night. I want to say hi too.
Okay, okay.
Oh, hey, Claire. Oh, look, is you in the
Wait, let me stop the recording. Yeah.
hey?